Erev Tov, as we continue to try to deepen our understanding and our appreciation of the Tefillah, as we mentioned last night, Divrei Torah tzrichim chizuk, Divrei Tefillah tzrichim chizuk. There's some very, very important parts of the Tefillah, which, from the halachic perspective, we would view maybe as secondary. Of course, the Kriyat Shema, we hold mitzvah aseh d'oraita. B'shoch b'cha u'kumecha, we have to say the Kriyat Shema in the evening and in the morning, by a certain time. And if not, the Mishnah says it's a mistake that can never be repaired. A person misses the Kriyat Shema. He misses mitzvah aseh d'oraita. It's a very, very serious thing. And if a person misses the Tefillah, the actual Shmona Esrei, also, we let him have tashlumin, but only if he didn't intend to. But there's a very, very important part of the morning Tefillah, which sometimes gets overlooked. Why? Mainly because in a pinch, a person is allowed to skip portions, or maybe even the entire portion, this portion of the Tefillah. Referring to the Pesukei Dezimra. Pesukei Dezimra are the verses and chapters from Tehillim and other places in Tanakh, which come before the brachot of Kriyat Shema. Brachot of Kriyat Shema are required midrabanan, based on the pasuk, Sheva bayom hilalticha, 7 brachot, 3 in the morning before the Kriyat Shema, 4 in the evening. So before we get to that, we have the special Pesukei Dezimra. How important are these brachot? This Baruch She'amar all the way until Yishtabach. Rabbi Yossi says in the Gemara Masechet Shabbat, if only my portion would be with those who complete the Hallel every day. Now, the Gemara says elsewhere, you're not allowed to say the Hallel every single day. But Rabbi Yossi says, I wish I could say the Hallel every day like some people do. Who says the Hallel every single day? The Gemara says this refers to the Pesukei Dezimra. To say the Pesukei Dezimra every single day, that's considered Hallel from Ashrei until the end of the Halukot. The 5 different chapters of Tehillim that we say, the last 5 chapters of Tehillim, 145 to 150. So he says, if I could only say the Hallel every day during the Pesukei Dezimra, does that mean that he wasn't successful in saying it every single day? Does it mean that he wanted to do it on a higher level? But we see a little bit, Rabbi Yossi is telling us the great value of saying, Rabbi Yossi was a Amora in the Gemara, a phenomenal Talmid Chacham. He's saying, to say the Pesukei Dezimra every single day, wow, I hope that's my chelik in Olam Haba. I said the Pesukei Dezimra every single day. Additionally, we have Darash Rabbi Simlai, לעולם יסדר אדם שבחו של מקום ואחרי כן יתפלל. A person should always arrange praises of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and then you should pray. That's Rabbi Simlai, he says. First arrange the praise of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which is Pesukei Dezimra, and then you go into the Tefillah. People misunderstand that it has to do with sort of, you're about to ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu for bakashot. So first you should make nice with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, praise Him. Chas Shalom. That's not what it's about. There's a certain derech eretz, a certain proper way to do things, a way of propriety. This is the way things should be done. Derech eretz kadman Torah. A person doesn't just rush into the tefillah and here's my list of requests, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Zeo. There has to be, you understand who you're speaking before. You have to first be mesader de shvachim, not for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, but for you. This is the proper way to do things. And it sounds like from when a person does the proper seder of the tefillah, that it makes his bakashot more effective. The bakashot that he's going to request during the tefillah itself, coming after the Pesukei Dezimra, after Bekot Kriyat Shema, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is more inclined because you submitted the request in the proper way. Yisader adam shvacho shel makom, ve'achar ken yitpalel. That's the proper way. If a person does not follow this order, he does not say the Pesukei Dezimra, so even though we say, the Pesukei, that's not me'akev, you could skip different halukot, you could skip the whole Pesukei Dezimra if need be on rare occasion, but then you're missing out. You're missing out the Yisader adam shvacho shel makom. You're missing out of the proper way to submit a tefillah to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which comes first with the shvachim. Mishnah Berurah writes, for this reason, a person has to be careful not to be late. Obviously, everyone on occasion, except for the people who are routinized, like clockwork. But there are people that on occasion, we are late. But b'derech klal, a person has to be careful not to be late in the tefillah, because you're going to miss out on the shvacho shel makom. You're going to miss out on the Pesukei Dezimra. Very, very important thing. The Gemara says that a person should pray, we mentioned this before, in a beit knesset, even without a minyan. People know the code. Let's say a person, for whatever reason, wasn't able to come to the minyan. He should still make an effort to come to the beit knesset and pray here. Why is that? It's based on the pasuk, lishmoa el harina ve'el hatefillah. HaKadosh Baruch Hu listens to the song and the tefillah. Why does this have to do with the Beit Knesset? Because in the Beit Knesset, that's typically where the tefillot are accompanied with song. So we see that the Zmirot, the Pesukei Dezimra, the Zmirot, the singing aspect, is very important. That's the place where HaKadosh Baruch Hu is more likely to receive the tefillah. So they explain in this particular sefer, Berumo Shel Olam, he explains why is it more important to pray in the Beit Knesset even if it's by yourself. If a person has ever had the occasion to pray at a minyan, which is not in the Beit Knesset, minyan, not by yourself, typically, we don't want to chas v'shalom be motzi laz, we don't want to speak negatively, but what would probably be the assumption would be that in the tefillah in the Beit Knesset, the tefillah is a little bit more kimo shetzarich. It's a little bit more the way it ought to be, the way it should be. Whereas sometimes when you have a house minyan or a casual minyan outside the Beit Knesset, it's a little bit more chaplap. It's a little bit more rush. Perhaps they don't say the Pesukei Dezimra the same way we have with songs and the right speed, not too fast. Therefore, the Beit Knesset is misugal. The Beit Knesset lends itself towards the proper way of saying the tefillah with song, without rushing too much, with saying all the different parts of the tefillah. Therefore, the Beit Knesset is more misugal. It's more proper to pray here, even if it means praying by yourself. A person has a rare occasion where he can get a minyan in a home somewhere, or pray over here in the Beit Knesset. Probably it's better to pray with the minyan in the home. But a person should pray with the minyan no matter what. But as far as setting a place, being kovea makom, it should be in the Beit Knesset if at all possible. For that reason, the Mekubalim say that Pesukei Dezimra, they are the verses from around Tanakh of Zmirot, of songs. What is Zmirot? Obviously it means song, but it also has another connection with Lizmor. What's Lizmor? To cut. Of all the parts of the tefillah, the Zmirot have the power to cut. What to cut? To cut the Mikat Regim. That it cuts down the negative forces, Rahman Islam, the negative decrees, all these negative things that a person may have coming against them, Chas Shalom. It's the Pesukei Dezimra which has the ability to get rid of them. That's the power of Pesukei Dezimra. That's why we call them Zmirot. Not just because it reflects the song, but it has this koach to cut down these Mikat Regim, these negative forces. Just to give us an appreciation what it means to come to the Beit Knesset, to come and properly pray, as well as to come and make sure a person has a chance to say the Pesukei Dezimra in their entirety. Rabbi Hanania,